Alright, so just got back from the store. I got the clamps that I need for the exhaust now. And now that I've got a huge mess and a bunch of parts, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and just do a little clap and get this thing all cleaned up. Oh shit. Maybe. Maybe. So, you guys really thought I was gonna clean that up, huh? Hell no, I ain't got time for that shit. No. So I picked up these hose clamp or exhaust clamps here for this little bitty band clamp, and then I went ahead and picked up my first oil change for it, which will just be break-in oil. So I really don't care what it is as long as it's the right weight and everything, which it is. It's 5W40. New filter to go with that. Coolant. I needed a little bit of coolant. And I also picked up this hose right here, which it actually says it's heater hose. How about that? But that's not the correct diameter for what I need for my heater core hoses. What I'm just going to be using that for is the factory line had split from there to there on both ends. It was split, so I'm just going to use this hose right here for that, and then it also goes from the back side of this housing here to the brake booster. I think I may just use this to run it straight from there to the brake booster right here. Should be a little bit cleaner look, and I won't have to deal with fishing hoses off and onto that thing, or you know, whatever. It'll just be more hoses in the way of other hoses. So yeah, only other thing I gotta get is those heater core hoses over there, which I didn't have those on me to try and match up something that they had on hand, but I'll do that next time I go to the store. So yeah, I'm gonna clean this up a little bit around here, just because I really do need to clean some of this crap out of my way so that I have some room to deal with everything once I start putting the motor in. But yep, gonna start putting this guy, or finish up the assembly for this guy to put it in. The VVT cover is now installed. I also got the alternator on here, and the stud kit for the high pressure fuel pump is in here now. Just gotta torque these guys down, and pretty much good to go with everything I need to do on the engine stand. After this, I'll be mounting everything up onto the cherry picker, the engine and everything, I mean. And once that's on the cherry picker and off the engine stand, I'll put on the dust cover there and the flywheel over here with the new flywheel bolts that I have that are there, and it'll be good to go. Alright guys, so today, finally the day, I'm going to be putting the motor in the car. So I mean, everything's pretty much ready. I've gotten all the bolts out of the engine stand, and most of the weight now is on the cherry picker. I've just got to pry it off of these little detents here that go in the trans, because I accidentally drove those into these little holes in the engine stand, so I'm going to pry it off against that and start setting it in there. So let's get to it. Motor is finally good to go in here. I've now got the dual mass flywheel on here, and all the bolts are torqued down the spec, which the factory service manual says 60 Newton meters plus a quarter turn, which ended up being about 80 foot-pounds of torque. And then also I went ahead and torqued down the crank pulley bolts here, which was 6 Newton meters and then a quarter turn as well, and that in Newton meters that translates to about 88 inch-pounds plus the quarter turn. So we're all good to go here. As you can see, I've pretty much got the cherry picker ready to go. I've got this main chain here that hooks into the front lift point there, and then this is just bolted onto the turbo here. And then I've also got this ratchet strap on here, which I can use to help level it out if I need to, because I don't have a leveler. But the transmission has a jack underneath it, so I can jack it up and try to level it out more if I need to. And I got a little wire rigged up here to keep the downpipe out of the way. And then the AC compressor is just kind of dangling here, but once I get the motor in there, I can just pretty much pull it straight up like that and bolt it on. The motor is finally in here. I got 2 of the trans bolts in right here. I believe I have 3 more bolts to put in the trans there, and then there's also 3 on the bottom that go from the trans to the oil pan, I'm pretty sure. Can't remember. But I ran into a little bit of an issue here where my cherry picker was, this little part of it here was right up against the car and caused a couple little scratches there, couple scratches there, but I already had some scratches there anyway, no big deal. But yeah, so it's in here with those trans bolts. I'm going to continue putting the rest of the trans bolts in, and then I'm going to move on to the motor mount that's over there. So yeah, not super horrible, but could have been better, I suppose. Had to ended up taking off the alternator there. So I did end up having to take the alternator off so that I could get it in there. There was a little bit of a clearance issue, like right in this area, where it just didn't have enough room to get down in there. And then also it was kind of a pain to just make enough room for the flywheel to get past the trans on this side, and also the crank pulley to get to clear where this motor mount goes here, which you can see I tore up pretty good there, and I'm sure there's probably a little bit of paint. Yeah, there's a little bit of paint on the crank pulley. So if anybody plans on doing this in the future and you're watching this as like a how-to or something like that, I would definitely recommend not putting your crank pulley on just yet. I would keep that off of there before you go to put it back in the car. And yeah, also your alternator, don't put that on yet. But the thing that sucks about the alternator is it's a pain in the ass to get onto this mount here. So that's going to be real fun while it's in the car, but I'll make do. We'll get her done. So yeah, and a little bit of that problem was partly because obviously the alternator was there, but the turbo, the exhaust housing for the turbo there, that's what was really getting hung up on the back here and then causing the clearance issue up here with the alternator. So either have the turbo off or the alternator off and you'll be able to get it in there. In my case, it's only 2 bolts for the alternator, so that's why I did that. But yeah, so I'm going to move on, keep putting these trans bolts in, and then I'm going to get over there and do that motor mount. And here I go. Alright, she's finally in there. Look at how shiny it's been. Okay, but I got the motor in here now. As you can see all my nice polished aluminum crap all over the place. Very nice. But anyway, she's in here. I got all the trans bolts in here. You probably couldn't really tell what was going on that last time lapse, but I was underneath the car getting the bottom front trans bolt in, and then the rear trans bolt in the bottom, and then there's 3 bolts pretty much that run along with this right here that go through the transmission and then into the oil pan or block, I can't remember, but yeah, so all those bolts are in. This motor mount is in over here. I mean, she's being held up by the mounts. Obviously, I still have all the electrical connectors to hook up. They're all tucked away over there right now. So I'm probably going to do that before I get into any of the hoses and stuff like that. But, I mean, she's in there. She's under her own weight. Or sitting on her motor mounts, or all the mounts. But this unfortunate thing happened. Just bought that freaking boost solenoid valve that's on the turbo there, and unfortunately it got caught up on something when I was putting the motor in here, because it was really tight getting the flywheel over the transmission with that crank pulley on there. So that's something I definitely recommend if you're doing this on a GTI or a Jetta GLI or Golf or Rabbit, anything like that. I would definitely recommend, if you're keeping the transmission in there, to go ahead and keep the crank pulley off when you go to put it back in. It'll just make mating up the flywheel and everything to the transmission a lot easier. You'll have a little bit more clearance there. But yeah, so I got a lot of little plumbing stuff to do. Have to run these supply and return lines for the fuel, and then there's a vacuum line for the evap emission system that snakes around, goes over here up to this purge valve and elsewhere. But yeah, so just wiring, a little bit of coolant plumbing, some vacuum lines and fuel lines, and she'll be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, so that's pretty much all the wiring for the front of the motor anyway. There's a few connectors for the alternator and the air conditioner there that, yeah, I believe they run from over on this side. But yeah, just a few couple, and then this is just the connector for the diverter valve and the boost solenoid valve that are on the turbo. They run back there, but I'm going to put some new heat shielding on there on that little section of wire. But pretty much everything for the wiring's done. I've just got to run this power here for the starter. I've got to reground this. There's also this ground that goes on the trans, and that's pretty much it. There's also a couple little connectors down here that go into the transmission, but we're getting pretty close here, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get back to it and get all this done.